The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host, on a day where we have something rare. S&P's off 20 points. Volume is good. It's not like yesterday. Not bad. Not light. Not tepid. Getting pretty good indications that we've got very light volume up. Ridiculously light volumes like yesterday and the attempts on Friday to push this market higher. And, you know, pushing out 2.3 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape as we speak. And I think that says everything it needs to. We've gone through fund buying. It was non-existent. It was vaporous. It was a mirage. Speaking of a mirage, I saw a lady when I was out walking my cars today, right out of Lawrence of Arabia. The wind was kind of blowing. It was kind of bizarre. I've seen like three real strange things today. That was the first one. The whole full Muslim garb, but just kind of flowing like Lawrence of Olivier, very thin, not the kind of like heavy wool things you see on TV that are black, but kind of a white thing. Very bizarre, kind of surrealistic thing. Saw a guy, and I occasionally see him, if I catch him just at the right time walking the dogs, on a giant unicycle. I still think that's the first step to becoming a clown, and of course, therefore, becoming an undesirable in this world. But it is, we saw a lot of weird things today, and I thought, well, maybe that means something. It doesn't, I know. Traders can be somewhat superstitious. There's enough randomness out there to really tug at the heartstrings and the mind and the psyche of traders. But I don't think that there's anything that you could mistake for the last 4, 5, 6 days of trading with monstrous volume down, light volume up, ridiculously light volume yesterday as they continue to try to push markets higher than the day before. And I do something I rarely do, and that's go into margin. I was fully short going in yesterday morning, or added the last positions that I have. I've got no more money to give. I feel like one of those guys that signed the Constitution. I only have one life to give. Well, anyway, I only had one portfolio to short, and I went deep. I went deep yesterday morning, and so far it's paying off. The risk reward probably doesn't get any better than this as long as we stay under 21.22 on the S&P cash. But I tell you what, there's very few times that you get clear, unambiguous signals in this in a market or in this markets for the last 5 years. We got them off the bottom, and since then it's been kind of a deal where probably the best explanation is where you have maybe 2-gallon jars. Let me just put it that way. 2-gallon jars on top of a countertop, and you don't know it, but there's somebody, a little person underneath the counter. And what you do know is that there were 2 black balls, and the rest were all red in that gallon jar, and they're to the full. Maybe they're the size of a ping pong ball, maybe a little smaller. So the thing's full of these things. And what you don't know is that, you know, you see somebody continue pulling balls out of the gallon jug, and you say, okay, I know that there were 2 black balls in there to begin with. Someone pulls one out, and it's a red one. You don't know much because, of course, most of them are red. But if someone pulls out a black one, well, there were only two to begin with. You now know there's only one. We know a lot more about pulling that single black ball out than we do a bunch of red balls. We know now there's only a 50% chance left that you'll ever get, even if you took all of them down to the last two. The best you're going to get is a 50% chance that you would ever find another black ball, or you're going to have huge opportunities to get red ones. What we have had is a Fed. The Fed is been paying off that little guy underneath the countertop, and he's gone in there and he's cut a hole in the bottom of these. And occasionally he just pushes one more black ball in there, and we will pull one out and we think, hey, we've got it made. We know what's going on. And guess what? He's in there shoving another black ball in there. And that's what it's been. We've had a market that has been very hard to call because it's been gamed. And it's not apparently gamed, but it's been going on that people believe that it is a fait accompli. I do not believe it. I believe all that they've been doing forever since they started this was taking water out of the deep end of the pool and convincing us all that it was filling the shallow end when they took it down there and dumped it in. If this was so easy, I think we played that clip. Was it yesterday or Friday? I think it was Friday or Thursday last week of Jim Grant. He said if it was so easy, they would have figured it out a long time ago. This isn't a lot of higher math or anything. This is just throwing money at the problem. And of course, you know, what else can you do if you're somebody like that?
Are you suggesting we throw money at the problem?
Precisely.
And that's the Fed's idea. We'll just keep throwing money at it and throwing money at it. And eventually those people that think maybe things aren't the way that they are, that there is no man behind the curtain, will kind of just give up. Nope. I know the laws of finance do not change, and you better know them. One of the reasons I had Basil on my show yesterday is that you can learn so much more when you break things apart and things go wrong than you can when things go well. And whether it's taking a 747 and keep bending the wings until they snap, see which part broke first, how far could you bend it? What did your calculations say about how far you could bend those wings before they would break? You know, there's a lot of things like that. In fact, we're learning more about physics now by building the biggest atom smasher and basically taking small little atoms and beating them against each other and seeing what kind of junk comes out of it, what's been collapsed in that. When we see a market pullback, we see a lot more than just a market pullback. We see a great deal of what is the weakest, what is the strongest, where do people come in and start buying. We learn a lot more than when the markets just go up. They're going up 3/4 of the time, maybe a whole lot slower. But when they come back a lot faster. And we see, as Mr. Buffett said, who was out swimming without a bathing suit on when the tide goes out. And I think you can continue to see that. But I do digress.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1818, Karl Marx is born in Trier, Germany. His lifelong work will be to inspire some of the most constructive reforms to capitalism, such as safer factory and expanded right for workers. He is also morally responsible for the future murder of 100 million innocent people under the communist regimes, and of course, really getting into the idea that communism could ever work. In 6,000 years of recorded history, forms of communism, socialism have come and gone. And the one thing I can tell you is you have to be insane if you do something 100 times and nothing ever changes and you continue to try it again. And that's the history. It's always under some different name. I'm a progressive now. I'm something else. But you basically always have two choices in economic freedom. And one is the unequitable distribution of money or stuff, or the equal distribution of misery. And sometimes I think we've tried to get a happy medium here in the United States, and better than others. But I do digress. Oh, what else do we have going on there? Microsoft today, Surface 3 for sale. This is the less expensive Surface Pro, although they have a new Surface Pro coming out, I think about mid-summer. That may be the one that I would buy. This one is better than, of course, and basically replaces the RT versions, which were all but useless. The Surface 3 Pro, Surface 2 Pro, Surface 3 Pro is probably the preeminent laptop, much better than Apple's, much better than other ones, hardware-wise. But the question is, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to use it? What software are you using? I've got, I'll show it here. I've got it laying over here. I've had my little laptop here for a while. I put Windows 10 on it. Is it still up and running? Yeah, it is. Let me type in my password here. I have to say that I've been playing with some of the new apps out here, and Media Monkey is my new favorite media player on Windows 10. It's got some bugs in it, and of course it's still being shipped. But anyway, you will get a free upgrade to Windows 10 on these new Surfaces. Now this one is kind of a less expensive version of it. It's got a better processor than the one I have in this little laptop here I bought for $225. But that was the deal of a century. I think I told you guys to buy that. What was that, Christmas before last? Oh, what a deal. I've been having that one for a while. The Asus 100T. I think they're even $325 now. But so I've had it. It's worked out pretty good. It's got an Atom processor in it. It's great for a little laptop. Anyway, you still have to buy a keyboard, which is about $100. I think they're selling the stylus for $50. But I can think of a ton of things that this would work very well for. I'm working very hard to move all my trading systems to Windows 10. There's just a bunch of new things I can do for programming and new functionality in the software. I got Windows Office yesterday. But I don't think this is going to hold Microsoft up against a market that is pulling back, but I certainly think I would not be shorting Microsoft. They continue to do all the right things. If you want to look at their new thing and see what they've got, it is at Best Buys today. After the bell, we've got Cray, Digital Realty Trust. I'm kind of watching that one. It's DLR. If we see a big pullback in technology, there are a ton of startups that are all out here in these DLR Realty Trusts in San Francisco. And that thing could go south in a hurry if we see a dot-com bubble burst like we did in 2000. In the meantime, we'll be back in just a second.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we got a caller, so we're going to go right to Pat in Massachusetts. How you doing today, Pat?
Good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. So what do you like to talk about today?
Well, I heard you talking about Microsoft giving us Windows 10 free and then later on slapping us with a subscription fee. Is that going to be like a nuisance? What's your thoughts? Nuisance amount of money, like $25, or are they going to go over $100 a year? What do you think?
I think it's going to be about $60 a year.
Oh, that's not too good.
To me, it's not bad because it's one. They're going to change one thing, and that isn't that you pay $60 a year, but there's going to be Windows 10. This is going to be the last version of Windows with a numbering system. After this, there's just going to be they're going to slowly mod us into Windows Infinity, which is a slightly updated version every quarter. So the difference is going to be where you had like Windows XP and you had Windows 7 and the feature set was pretty much fixed. This is going to be one that they continually and always upgrading and adding new features to it. So I could see that there would be some value into the subscription model, especially for me. But I know some people, the one thing that they hate in software is change. But
that's me.
Okay. They're actually trying to get people used to an evolving operating system with new features. they recognized that the big problem they got in against Apple was the fact that they left and sat on XP so long that it became incredibly painful for anybody to try anything new. But I have to tell you that I'm using it now, and I'm going to move to it very quickly. I like all the notifications and a lot of the new stuff in it, and a lot of the new features. And I think it's pretty good. It's extremely stable, even in the beta form. I think it's better than Windows 8, 8.1 ever was as a finished, completed product. So, and Windows 7 and Vista. So, to me, it's as Austin Powers likes to say, I think they got the mojo back. But,
well, yeah, but I think, don't you think there's going to be some pushback from businesses who have are running a lot of machines? You know, if you just got 1 or 2 machines to pay the fee on, you know, what if you're a business and you got 25 machines to pay it for?
Yeah, or 100 or 1,000. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so, because security, they've changed. One of the big features for business is they changed the way security works on this. I don't know if you've ever had a problem with a computer with Windows on it, and you found out that this DLL got missing or got corrupted or was deleted, or you had some kind of virus coming in because of some other problem. But everything runs in a sandbox in this next version, which makes it very, very hard to corrupt an entire system. There's a lot of new things in here, and especially if you're a bring your own device kind of company, if you want to let somebody use an iPad for Windows or Excel, you know, basically Microsoft's saying, great, use your iPad or your BlackBerry or your Android device, and you know, you can link back into the entire Microsoft ecosystem of Office. So to me, I think, especially, you know, if you buy one, you get it all. It's a pretty good deal. It's not like they're charging $200 a year. They're charging, I think I'm going to get 5 different machines set up for $100 for Office. If you just want one, I think it's $65.
Yeah.
But
now,
to me, it's well worth it. Huh?
Well, that's the thing. I've had problem with viruses all along with Microsoft, and I'm sort of careful about the sites I go to and what I click on and not. But so, are we going to have to buy our own separate virus software still on top of this fee?
I think it would still be useful, but I mean, the one I use is free, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's expensive to get virus software. I use Avast. It's been free forever. It seems to work extremely well. So it's, I mean, you got to get, if you're on an Apple Macintosh, you got to have virus software. Doesn't matter what you're running on. People write and will write around stuff to cause trouble. But the nice thing is that the bar of the way that they're doing things in Windows 10 is a quantum leap, a magnitude higher than it has been in previous versions. So I think it's not going to be a thing of the past, but I think it's going to be 1/10 the problem that it was before. You want to hang on?
Yeah, I have some other questions.
Okay.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're like me, you see the world's emerging nations as a very real opportunity, as these countries and their economies are developing right before our eyes. And you can rest assured that Everbank has spotted this opportunity too. In fact, they just recently unveiled the new 5-year market-safe Future Economy CD. This is a CD that could really deliver, but you only have until May 7th to take advantage. Consider the facts. If the Future Economy's currencies beat the US dollar over the CD term, you'll get all the upside. And should they lose, no worries. There's zero downside risk here, as you still get back 100% of your deposited principal. Intrigued yet? The May 7th funding deadline is quickly approaching. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN-CD for more information, including important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN-CD. Everbank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, S&P's at 2093. We'll call it 2094 with 2.5 billion shares. Volume is cooking right along compared to yesterday. And the other light days that we had on the upside, volume kind of picking up. And it doesn't look like we've got a lot of people diving in to buy this thing. And, of course, fund buying is already over. So we'll take a look at it. We got Pat on the line from Massachusetts. We're talking about Microsoft. What were your other questions, Pat?
Well, what are our options if we decide we don't want Microsoft? I mean, I'm tired of Microsoft. We were thinking, my husband and I were thinking of migrating over to an Apple machine. Do you think Apple's going to get on the same bandwagon?
Well, they've been on the same bandwagon. They've been charging you for all those upgrades to their operating system every year.
Oh, I didn't know that. We haven't had Apple. They charge every year for upgrades?
I figured as much. Everybody thinks that Apple doesn't do all these things, and they do all the same things. So it's you know what it is. It's the grass is always greener on the other side. Apple's fine. They've got a great operating system. And the biggest thing, I think, is they've kind of gotten, on the desktop side, gotten behind. They don't have a desktop that really has touch or any of that stuff. I imagine it'll be in the next version for them. But it's just very tough to see that we're ever going to have Windows XP that you have for 12 or 15 years before you have to buy a new operating system. I just suspect it's going to be constant, never-ending improvement, And from what I've seen, there's a lot of stuff that's going to save me a lot of time. One of the things I do is I go through probably 200 or 300 articles a day that I look for in technology. And there's one real neat thing that I can do now with Windows 10 that's going to save me about 3 hours, 4 hours a week. So to me, it's a no-brainer. I'll be willing to pay to pay a couple $100 for 200 hours more of my life every year. So, it can be just one of those kind of things. Is there a lot of change in Windows Office, the new one? A few differences in the way it looks, but not so much that. It's mostly the notifications and some of the new ways of the computer working with you, that Cortana is basically embedded in the operating system. So you've got a Siri-like helper. That's been kind of neat.
I hate Cortana, and I hate those helpers. I shut them off.
Well, you can certainly do it on this, but I found it to be pretty neat to be able to sit there and go, call so and so and have it do stuff. So it's kind of nice. I know there's a lot of people that are resistant to change, and I think you're the poster child. It sounds like, but
I hate. You know what I hate is I hate constantly having to learn. They can't keep it so it's like it's intuitive. You have to constantly learn a new. You're very comfortable doing something, then they change. Like at work we use Internet Explorer, so that's going bye-bye. So now we're going to have a whole new way of getting into the state. And every time they change something, there's always a hang-up. And we're going back and forth with tech because it never works right the first time. It's annoying. It's like I want McDonald's. I want to go in. I want to see the menu in the same place, in the same order. I don't want to have to keep relearning all these
I got a question
annoying steps.
I got a question for you.
What?
Any chance you still drive a Model T?
No, but I don't have a cell phone. I'm not on Facebook. I don't tweet. I don't do that
either. I will tell you that what they don't want to do is exactly the problem that you're talking about now. They're going to make sure that slowly they make changes and improvements in the future, so that there's not that huge learning curve from going from grade school to junior high to high school, and you see these giant jumps in both the way people act and everything else, right? They're going to make these things very subtle and along the time, so you have to learn just a little bit at a time instead of taking a giant bite out of everything with the big bites. And that's going to be I think they're going to be much better at it. They certainly were through the late 80s and the early 90s. The changes were subtle each time. They happened a lot closer to each other, and people didn't get settled in their ways. And I think it's going to be okay. I wouldn't be, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be real scared of it. A couple years down the line, maybe, but now I think it's going to be okay.
Well, it's just that you compound. It's a compound thing. Like Thinkorswim changes, and so you have to learn all of that new stuff. Then Microsoft changes, you have to learn all that new stuff. And then your bank changes. Then you have your money at Fidelity. You log on. It's a new screen. You go, oh my God, I got to learn another new screen.
I was talking to Tom O'Brien about Thinkorswim, and he said, yeah, that's the one good thing, because he was talking about some other platforms. And he can't use anything other than Bloomberg, and he's paying $35,000 a year for it. And I'm going, yeah, but it was that. He's throwing huge amounts of money at a problem, which is the problem that he won't sit down and spend a couple hours learning the software, right? I think it would probably be well worth it. But there are a lot of people, it just doesn't matter. They just want, like you said, they don't want anything to change. The difference is that Microsoft, if they don't upgrade and don't start being very proactive, they're just going to go away as a company. So as far as they're concerned, if you want to sit still, they're fine. But they just can't make money with you as a customer, so they have to move on. So, you basically got a few people to look at. I think that this stuff is going to work a lot better than you think it will.
Yeah.
Normally, there's a lot of big problems when I look at beta software. This one works probably better than Windows 7 and Windows 8.1 already, and it's not finished. So I actually think it's going to do pretty well. So
Well,
I would say give it a chance before you get too down on it.
Yeah, so we can go to Apple. Where else can we go? What are
You can
there
buy
any
Linux.
alternatives?
You can buy Linux; it'll never change.
Yeah, I like Linux.
Well, you can get that right now.
Yeah. Can I
So
change all my programs over to Linux?
That's the problem, since
Yeah,
no one really
see?
develops for Linux. And there lies the rub. If there's no money in it, how are you going to get people to dedicate their life to writing software?
No, you can't.
Yeah. So I've got Linux on a machine over here just to the left of me. And there's some very big reasons to do it. In fact, one of the big announcements last week from Microsoft was that they were going to support the .NET framework. So actually, some of the programs that I've written would be easily transferable to Linux.
Oh.
So they're making that much more available. Like I said, it's not as bad as you would think. They're working pretty hard, including the ability to run Android apps on Windows 10 and some other stuff. So it's going to be kind of interesting. I think it's going to be a lot more open than I think you think it's going to be. And they've worked very hard. In fact, I've been going through, there's a 400-page manual I just got on Sunday on...
See, that's the thing, 400 pages.
Right. But you know what those 400 pages are?
What?
How to be consistent in writing programs so everybody didn't have to learn everything all over again.
Good.
It's one thing that they never did, which was all the guidelines, write it this way, this is how it's going to work. And if you write it that way, and everybody writes it that way around Microsoft's guidelines, then everybody will understand how it's supposed to work, right? So
Right.
I think there's a lot in there. The 400-page manual is for me so that I don't do things wrong to confuse people when I write software. So it's not for you. That 400-page manual is do it this way, and then everybody will learn one way of doing it. And as long as you stay within those guidelines, it should be pretty good. So I read about 200 pages of it on Sunday. So, but most of it is just standard stuff.
Well, we'll look at Windows 10. We still may migrate to Apple. I don't know. I'm tired of all the back doors that they leave open and that the hackers eventually find.
You know why they concentrate on Microsoft?
Because that's where most people are.
There's 450 million people that have paid to run Windows. There's
That's
probably
it.
right now somewhere around 25 million people that have paid to run Macintosh.
Yep.
So that's the upside is that it attracts less virus people. The downside is that it attracts a whole lot less people to write software for it specifically. So there are benefits and there are downsides. For the financial community, probably 1 out of 10 financial titles that are around trading run on the Macintosh. And that's why you don't see anybody with a Mac in finance for the most part. There's just no the ability to get software on Wall Street for a Mac is infinitesimal. So it
Well, very interesting discussion. Thanks, David.
You bet. We'll talk later. When you go take a look at it, give me a call back and tell me what you think.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on out here. Oh, we got plenty of time here today. Watching this market just continue to tick down. This is one of these markets that's, I've always talked about it with Tom O'Brien. We call it the paper cut market, where you just sit this thing, another 10, 15 minutes, and yet you're down another 1 point on the S&P cash, another 10, 15 minutes, you're down on another one. It's just one of those, you got just a little drop of blood coming out, and you just can't do anything to keep it from bleeding. It just keeps going on and on and on. And as far as I can tell, this is the kind of market that could set up for an entire summer. Not saying it will, but I'm looking at the kind of, normally you see the kind of character a market has when it's coming off the bottom or it's coming off the top. And I think we've got a pretty good indication that we've got all three major indexes breaking a century mark here at the close. That'll probably be on tonight's news. Other things we got after the bell, I was talking about Digital Realty Trust. There are a ton. If, you know, the .com thing blows up in San Francisco, keep an eye on that. I'll be watching their revenues tonight. Electronic Arts, I think they're doing okay, but they're kind of big on the fall and fall releases. Easy Corp, a chip manufacturer, Fossil. I think Fossil probably got beat down by a lot of people thinking that the iWatch would be a big deal. Maybe not such a big deal as before. Groupon, GRPN, of course, that has been on my Walking Dead list for a long time. Hard for me to see that thing ever do anything but go eventually bankrupt. Herbalife, the war of the titans on Wall Street has been weaker lately. Mollycorp, this thing's got to get over $1 to not get delisted. Myred Genetics after the bell, or Claro. Skull Candy, when this thing came out and IPO'd, someone called on the show about this. I said, I never could understand how this thing could ever be a big IPO because it had problems in when you went up against Beats, that it really wasn't the same kind of marketing juggernaut with hiring rappers to really push your products. Again, it's kind of a conspicuous consumption thing with Beats. Skull Candy has always been just kind of cheaper earbuds. Solar City Corporation, I think all these solar companies, and they're all a bunch of hooey. It's just one day till everybody figures out that the government's been paying for it all. Weight Watchers International, these things have been hit rather hard lately. Zag, used to be kind of a high flyer. Zendesk, Zillow Group's going to give us a good read on how things are going. They've been hammered lately. And Zulily. So we got a lot coming out. Apple. I got enough time. I got a little bit. We may go into the next segment with this. Yesterday, I warned you thusly. Didn't I? Did I warn you thusly? I think I I told you thusly.
I informed you thusly.
I informed you thusly. I forgot.
I informed you thusly.
Yes, I did. I informed you that Apple was doing some rather bad things and would get the ire of the Justice Department. It didn't take a day. Apple is down on fairly extensive volume and a move back down after a pop up here. It's trading at 126 at the moment, off almost $3 with 32 million shares so far. The deal was that they are doing some things that smack all over of restraint of trade and, of course, of monopoly tactics. What they've been doing is trying to push Spotify out of business. And now they're going after other people like YouTube and offering to pay the money that would go to Universal Music Group from YouTube for letting them put their videos on. If I just had enough cash and I went in and bought everybody out and ran everybody out of business, I'll guarantee you the Justice Department would be all over me. Apple's already got one bunch of people already in there for their book deal. Looks like they're going down the same road. I think they're kind of, maybe they're reading too much of their own newsprint. We'll be back in a minute.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Do you know the 7 most critical factors that influence every decision you make, and how not knowing these will jeopardize the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve? I'm Steve Rhodes, morning host at TFNN.com, and for the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets of human growth, the same formulas used by leaders of nations, billionaires and millionaires, and the most successful athletes on the planet. Would you like to break through any obstacle that gets in between you and the success you deserve? Would you like to turn fear into strength? If you could find a way to achieve, be fulfilled, and live a life of meaning, wouldn't you want to know the answer? I'll teach you the factors that control your state of mind and the drivers that impact every thought, emotion, behavior, and action we take in my new webinar, The Psychology of Trading. Join me for this 2-part online event where I'll unveil the secrets to human pattern recognition, because they're not what you think. And soon, you'll have the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on the Psychology of Trading to begin your journey now.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And this hour went pretty fast today. Of course, we're watching the markets out here and seeing what they do, but this has every indication of a horrible, horrible close coming out here. 2.66 billion shares, 2088 on the S&P cash, and I don't see that this looks like it's going to stop before the end of the day. Anyway, we've got some other stocks. Of course, there seems to be one out every 2 days that just gets incredibly even worse than decimated, 20-30% losses in a single night. Qualsys was one of those QLYS last night. People probably don't know about it because it's kind of the redheaded stepchild of FireEye and CyberEye. But it is in the cloud area of defending against viruses and malware. Basically, if you read what they said, you'd think, maybe this thing be off a buck or two. But you have to get deeper into their announcement to find out just how bad this really was. But it was horrifically bad, and it's got a little pin action out there. A few of those bowling pins hitting others like FireEye, like was it CYBR? And that's it. Anyway, FireEye down a little bit, volume not a whole lot. So we're looking at CYBR, I think is the other one, right? CyberArk. This one down a little bit more than FireEye. I think probably because its PE was a little higher. But this one got into, you really had to start looking at these, pretty much thinking that they double topped. CyberArk, CYBR, had a 6 million share high on February 20th at $70.48. Got into the candle with 1.6 million shares, and that was it yesterday. And it popped right back down to this trading range. The other thing is the huge energy up from the January 29th $33 low to that February 20th high. When you look at it, basically had about half the energy from that March 16th low up to the high yesterday out here. And I think they're probably due for a fairly decent pullback with the market. I would love to see FireEye pull back to around that $30 range where it broke out on very light volume. I think it could. I'd like to see their numbers improve all the way back down as the market pulls back and get an opportunity to buy some of those for some long-term holds. CyberArk looks like it could fairly easily get back to this $47 level that has been enacted as support. There's a couple of big gaps there with some decent volume. But to me, this thing looks like in a bigger trading range from that $69 high yesterday to that $47.51 low that we saw on March 16th. I think, does that get everything out I had on my, yeah, it has everything on my list there. There were a few others I wanted to watch out here. Probably the most interesting one that I'd been watching out here was the XLE. This thing had come back up into its height, and pretty good indication, I think, that we've got energy, at least energy stocks themselves, pretty much tapping out on light volume. Volume hasn't, we need to see the end of the day, but energy sector was kind of a little bit better off with the markets really pushing a little higher out here, but pretty clear indication. This thing had a 46 million share high on December 29th, a 31 million share on February 17th, and a 16 million share high just a couple of days ago. Energy was very, very light in this energy sector coming out here for the third tap back into this gap down that came with amazing volume on the 28th of last November. We'll be back tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. You're watching Tiger TV.